Wow, it sure has felt like forever that we've been waiting to get Ivy the monster truck from Cars on the Road as a diecast from Mattel, a full-on 155 scale diecast. But we don't have to wait anymore because Ivy just so happens to be in this very cardboard box right here. This is obviously the Cars DC Disney Plus 3-pack. It contains not only a full-scale version of Ivy, but also the brand new variants of Road Trip McQueen and Road Trip Mater. Not those ones, those are the boring ones. We have actual variants with brand new expressions. Mater even has a whole new chassis. It's really cool. Well, not really like a chassis, but he's raised up in the front. So 3 new cars are in this pack. We're going to only be reviewing Ivy today because there's just, this video would be way too long if I reviewed all 3 because I have so much to say about Ivy. She's such a main character in Cars on the Road, and it really is insane that it's taken almost 6 full months to get her as a diecast, because that's when Cars on the Road came out, September 8th. And it's just mind-boggling that it's taken Mattel this long. Obviously, we know it had something to do with them canceling the deluxe line. I mean, it didn't sell well. Distribution for the line was horrible, but I mean, I know in Canada, at least, I found a lot of them, but I know in the States it was bad. So that's why they canceled it, clearly, but really, they picked the worst year possible to cancel it, because there's so many Cars on the Road deluxes that would have been great as new diecast, could have been in the diecast mainline, but of course there is no deluxe in the mainline anymore. So yeah, it was a whole mess in general. But finally, Ivy is here, and we were actually thinking maybe Ivy won't get a release because she really has gotten released in every other form possible. We got her as a mini racer, the big old plastic version called the Circus Stunt Ivy that does like the leaping action. Then Mattel even made the plastic version from the playset, which was in scale, but still, it was plastic, so it's not going to cut it. And then, of course, the Disney Store tried to make their own version, which actually did look pretty cool. I don't have it, but it did look nice. And we haven't gotten a McDonald's version, so there's 5 different variants of Ivy. 3 of them are from Mattel, and not a single one of them were the actual Mattel diecast. So that's insane that it's taken this long, but we don't have to wait anymore. So why am I even talking? This cardboard box is nothing to look at. It's just Cars, the DC Disney Plus 3-pack, very vague, not much going on, as you can see, and that's how it's gonna come in from Amazon. This was only $16.49. I mean, that's a pretty darn good deal here in Canada. I don't know how much it is in the States. I think it's the same price, obviously, though. And yeah, it obviously comes with 3 cars, which is just insane. Let's not waste any time. Let's see what's actually in here, because I'm really not 100% sure. Other than the diecast, I don't know if anything else is included, so let's check it out. Honestly, I really can't think of a time that I've been this excited to unbox new cards, because it's not every day that we get a character that's so pivotal to the franchise. I mean, Ivy wasn't just some character that just kind of passed by in the show, Even cars like Capeler, Durev, and Griswold, they had their moments in one episode, but Ivy was really the only new character that recurred throughout the series in 3 different episodes. I know 3 out of 9 isn't, even half. It's not that much. She didn't have that much screen time. But every time she was on screen, she was definitely a delight. She was a very fun and energetic character, and I really liked her. She kind of reminds me of Cruz Ramirez, but, not annoying. I don't know. And she had a lot of character development, too, which kind of helps, I think, people relate to a character, and that's why I think she was just a lot of fun. And that's another reason why we've been waiting to get her as a diecast for so long. If she was just some monster truck that passed by in the background, it'd be cool to get, but, this character actually has some meaning to the series, so it's kind of nice to get her. It's very nice to get her. And of course, it's nice to always get a new variant of McQueen and Mater, because I didn't expect that. I would have thought they would have just thrown in a regular McQueen and Mater, like the road trip versions of them, but I'm really glad they put in the new variants, because I don't even have these yet. They were released as singles. Now, as cool as they are, I don't want to review them right now, because I want to focus this review solely on Ivy, because she deserves it. She's been waiting so long to get a diecast release, and I do think that she deserves her solo review. So don't worry, we will review these new variants because they are very cool, and we'll compare them to their original versions in the next video, but not right now. Now, this 3-pack actually does come with something else other than the actual die-cast. This tiny little pamphlet, it's kind of too big to show on the whole screen here, like upright, but it's, you know, pretty basic. It just, I'm glad they included it. Just gives us a look at Ivy's, not really concept art, but her little like prototype image, I guess. There we go. Now you can kind of see it. Shows very nice picture of Ivy and actual new images of McQueen and Mater. Technically, actually, never mind. Those aren't new. Those are their old versions that they already used, I think. I don't think they updated those images, which is alright because it's really just an expression difference for McQueen. Mater is raised up though, so I would have liked if they would have changed that one. But other than that, it just has the Cars on the Road classic map design, the logo. Not much else on it though, it's just cardboard. But what the heck am I doing? Still talking about a piece of cardboard? Let's get McQueen and Mater out of the way. Now let's zoom on in and take a closer look at this beautiful diecast, because it really is. This diecast so far is blowing me away. When I first saw the expression, like an image of Ivy online, I thought the expression was a bit, I don't know, just, I wasn't too impressed by it. I thought it looked kind of robotic, almost like a fish expression, if that makes any sense. But I gotta say, in person, looking at this Ivy, it's perfect. It doesn't really matter. It just looks like a neutral expression, you know, it doesn't look out of place. Really, it does look pretty darn good, I must say. I absolutely love these tires, though. This might be one of my favorite things about this diecast. Look at the nice gold trim they included on those rims there. Very, very nicely detailed. It's so metallic looking and glossy, like, it just, you know, it's almost like reflective. We don't get that on rims very often anymore. It's a very nice, almost like a foil like they use on the Rusty's Racing Center McQueen. That's what it reminds me of, that same kind of foil paint. Very nicely detailed though, I must say. So props to Thailand for that, because usually they screw up on the rims. I gotta say I was pretty shocked. But the actual, like, inner part of the rim, that's all just black. I don't even know if they painted it. Probably just black plastic. They may have painted the screws gray, but I can't really tell. It's also dark. I don't think they did, but either way, looks good. Giant tires. Like, look at the size of those. Wow. They're not as spread out as they probably should be in the show, but, I mean, they did a good job, I think. Obviously, they only have so much room to work with the box size and everything, so I understand why they didn't make them extremely spread apart like they probably should be. Still looks good from a front view, from the side view. Really every side of Ivy is a win, I think. Now, the actual truck, the actual diecast part of it, it's obviously very high, so we want to look down below, but up high, very nicely detailed as well. All of the flames, like, I don't know, are these flames? I think they're like flames or stripes, but it's very reminiscent of how a lot of the cars from the circus kind of look. Like K-Pillar Durev right here, the zebra print almost pattern that she has. Kind of reminds me of that, but of course it's orange and red and yellow. It's like a nice gradient. It starts off yellow, goes into orange, and then it kind of fades off into red. Very nice though. A lot of nice like green gradient there as well. It kind of mixed in with the blue. The actual color of Ivy though, this cyan blue, I can't say if it's 100% accurate or not. I want to say it is, but I mean, obviously the mini racer version of her was completely metallic blue. The Disney Store version kind of had like started off cyan, and then it kind of went metallic in the back, so I don't really know. When I look at her in the show, I think this is fine. I think this kind of matches. Maybe it should be a bit more metallic in some parts, but honestly, it's not all that bad. Still looks like Ivy. Still looks like a perfect version of her from the show. Really, I can't really complain too much about it. I mean, we got an Ivy diecast, finally. But looking at the front end of things, she doesn't have a grill, because usually grills kind of act as mustaches, and obviously Ivy's a female, so she probably shouldn't have a grill mustache. Very tiny little headlights though. For the size of Ivy, they are pretty small. Taillights are pretty small too. Nice little vertical taillights with the red and little amber lights on the bottom. A couple plastic pieces in the back though, which kind of surprised me. This little plastic piece right here, can't say it matches all that well. It's supposed to match this blue. It really doesn't, but, you know, it's typical. When you put paint on metal and you put the same paint on plastic, it never really looks the exact same. Nothing new there. I don't even know why they made the plastic separate piece. Now, you'd think, where's her license plate? But I don't even think she has a license plate in the show, so technically it's not really Mattel's fault there. I mean, she was living off-grid for who knows how many years or months, so kind of makes sense that she wouldn't have a license plate anyways, but I'm assuming once she moved into, not really the city, but the country of wherever that was where they filmed the movie, Rustville, so if she actually moved there, I'm sure she would eventually get a license plate. So, who knows, if we see her in Season 2, maybe we'll see her with a license plate. That would be kind of cool to get another new variant. Now, there is 3 variants of Ivy within Cars on the Road. There's obviously the mossy, dirty version where she's dressing up as Bigfoot, which would definitely be a nice one to get as a diecast eventually. And then there's the one from the B-movie episode where she has the big old brain on top. So I'm really hoping that they make those eventually as diecast, but for now I'm just happy we have just the regular version. I don't know how long it'll take to get them. I would assume it's probably going to take a long time to get variants of Ivy. For now, I think we just have to be, content with this one. And then there's nothing to be mad about. This is a perfect diecast in my opinion. I love the golden elements, so like the gold on all the trim and everything like that. Because, usually we see a lot of silver trim. It's nice to see gold, though, for once. Big old roll cage on the back. This is what this is called. It made me sound smart. But I didn't actually know that beforehand for watching other reviews of Ivy on YouTube. But yeah, it's called a roll cage. I don't know exactly what the meaning is. I think probably, because monster trucks are usually like smashing things, bound to get in a crash. So it probably just helps to prevent like another car from hurting the back window. This entire like plastic piece back there, I guess that's a window. At first I thought it was more mix-match blue, like that little piece right there. But no, that is full-on opaque windows. The same exact color and like shape and everything. Not the same shape, but like the same opaque style of window as her side windows. So I don't know why she has such a large window in the back. I don't even know if that's accurate. But, I mean, I'm not hating it. It doesn't look bad. I'm just glad it's not. Because at first I thought it was like just a sad attempt at trying to make this cyan blue color. Because it doesn't really match. But either way, it's hidden by the roll cage anyway, so it's not that big of a deal. It does have little door handles, but they don't look like they have any coloring on them. They're just blue still. And she has some nice, tiny, like, I don't know what you would call these. I guess headlamps, probably, on the top there. So McQueen has those same type of lamps in the Legend episode, so I wonder if she added those when she moved to the forest to dress up as Bigfoot and everything. They're nice and painted gold. They're just plastic, obviously. There's 5 of them. Wow, that's a lot of lights. I guess you would need it, though, in the pitch black of the forest. I don't know if you know this, but I do like Bigfoot quite a bit. I don't believe in Bigfoot, but I do think, I don't know, I just always liked watching shows about it and everything, especially mountain monsters. So I really did gravitate to that episode. Episode 4, The Legend. So I was glad that they brought Bigfoot into the world of Cars and the dinosaurs. There's just a lot to love about the series, I thought. Some missed opportunities, but overall, a fun time, I thought. Now, she does have little plastic inserted windows, or not windows, I meant to say little mirrors on the side. They're not really, I don't know if those are plastic or rubber. I guess they're kind of rubber, but it matches pretty well to the rest of the blue color. Doesn't look too out of place. Yeah, not much else to say. She has a pretty simplistic looking car. Like, from afar, she looks perfect, but honestly, she doesn't have too many decals. She doesn't look cluttery. Doesn't have writing on her at all or anything like that, but she just looks so cool. Really, I'm so glad that they finally decided to make this car as a diecast, because she's such a main character. She deserves a diecast. Kind of weird on the base, though. Like, there's really no writing. Well, I guess there is. If I zoom in, maybe you can see. It's just hard to see and everything, though. You can kind of see in there. Just the classic, made in Thailand, Disney, Pixar, whatever else it says in there. A couple little codes. I can't really see the date stamp anywhere, so I don't know. But nice that they actually detail all of these springs and everything. I don't know what you call them, to be honest. I'm not a mechanic, but it looks like they actually detailed them. They even painted them quite a bit. They're still like held together with black plastic, as you can see. Makes it look a little unrealistic, but I know they have to do that, and it is just the base. After all, at the end of the day, it is really just the base. I never really cared about bases all that much. As long as the car itself looks good, I'm a happy camper. Now, Yeah, that expression definitely growing on me. It doesn't look bad. It looks pretty nice. Now, I don't have much to compare Ivy to because, like I said, I don't really have any monster trucks. There really isn't all that many monster trucks that Mattel has made as diecast. Luckily, I do have one, though, and that is Craig Faster. So he is obviously much, much smaller, as you can see. He's the monster truck from the first Cars movie in the Rusty's tent. He's just one of the, the Rusty's fans of McQueen. Doesn't want to be Rusty anymore, so he's hanging out in the tent. And Mattel actually just made him as a diecast last year, so it's just funny to think. They canceled the deluxe line at really the worst possible time, because it wasn't actually all that bad in 2022. We didn't get any new deluxes, but still, we got some pretty cool re-releases, and this is one of them. He wasn't new for 2022. I think it was first made in 2016, but still, it was a nice one to see back, and I didn't have him beforehand, so I was definitely happy to get him, but he's much smaller. Wow. I didn't think he was actually that much smaller, but he is. I thought he was a big monster truck at first, but no. He's pretty small, wow. Ivy just towers over him. Oops. But yeah, the good thing about this pack also is that usually I feel inclined to buy 2 of everything just to keep one in the package and open one just in case it becomes rare. With this one though, I really think there's no reason to buy 2 unless you want duplicates of Ivy, but which is alright. Maybe I will eventually if it goes on sale, just for fun. But honestly, it's really not necessary because the packaging itself is nothing to look at. It's just a cardboard box. Oh, and I kind of do like that, to be honest. Now, as for McQueen and Mater, I guess I'll show them a little bit, but I don't want to spoil their actual reviews that I'm going to be doing for them. But they don't look too different from their original counterparts. McQueen just has different expression. Mater does not have the larger tow hook, which is understandable, I guess. I don't know. I don't really like the larger tow hook. I know it makes it easy to tow McQueen. I don't even tow him anyways, so I think it just looks unusually large. So I'm not a huge fan of it, but I just love the new expressions on both of these guys. McQueen, this expression especially, just because, I don't know, it just almost looks like he's definitely not a happy McQueen. Usually we get always the classic smiling McQueen, but he looks a bit ticked off, almost like, not ticked off, but almost like a bit unsure, like, I don't know if I want to do this, Mater. That's what the vibe I'm getting from looking at him. And Mater, on the other hand, just looks very, very excited and, just ready to have a fun road trip with his buddy. And that is really what Cars on the Road is all about. A lot of fun, really, throughout the whole series. And I really thought Ivy was a great new addition to the Cars franchise. I really did like her character, and I hope to see her back. She was voiced by Quinta Brunson. I never really heard of her before, but I think she's in an ABC show. She's worked with Disney before, so who knows, she could be back eventually. Maybe Ivy will return in Season 2, I mean, undoubtedly. If Cars on the Road gets a Season 2, Ivy will return. I don't think it's even a question. But honestly, I don't even know. With all the sequels Disney's been planning and announcing lately, who knows? We might be more likely to get a Cars 4 than to get a Season 2 of On the Road. Now, at first I didn't think Cars on the Road would get a Season 2. Thought it was a one-time type of thing, but who knows? I'd be down for it for sure if it meant seeing Ivy back. She's just a really great character, in my opinion. Now, look forward to the new review of these new versions of Road Trip Mater and McQueen coming very soon to the channel. I'll try to make that my next video, because top priority. Brand new cars coming in the mail. I've never reviewed a car that's this new before. Like, it technically hasn't even really been out yet, really. I don't think she actually comes out officially until April 18th, so that's pretty cool. But also coming soon, I'm going to be reviewing Gearston Marshall, and probably Dad's Jammin' eventually as well, and Greebles, of course. Hopefully I can get doubles of them. Still haven't been able to find them. Then again, I haven't been looking all that much, so I should probably get out there and see what I can find on the road related. Anyways, thank you guys for watching, and with that, I'll see y'all next time on the Cars Garage.